Hi, this is Julia Rose, and I'll be telling the true story of the Three Little Pigs by John Seska. And a little background information. This is what is considered the true story told from the point of view by the wolf. Everybody knows the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Well, at least they think they do. But here's a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because they've never asked me. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf, but you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole story of the big bad wolf got started. Maybe it's because of a wolf's diet. It's because animals like bunnies and pigs are so adorable. But if cheeseburgers were adorable, you would be considered big and bad too. But the whole big bad wolf thing is wrong. The real story is about a sneeze, achoo, and a cup of sugar. It all started when I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny, and I needed a cup of sugar. So I went next door to the neighbor. He was a pig. Now, he wasn't the brightest pig. He made his house out of straw. When I knocked on the door, it fell over, and I wasn't about to just walk into his house. So I said, little pig, are you in?" There was no answer. That's when my nose started to itch, and I felt a sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I blew a great sneeze. Achoo! And you know what? The whole house fell over. And right in the middle was the little pig, dead as a doornail. He was home the entire time. And it seemed like such a waste to just leave him there. So I ate it up. Think of it as just as leaving a cheeseburger lying there. I was starting to feel better, and I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next house. This is where the second little pig lived. He was the brother of the first little pig. He was a little smarter. He built his house out of sticks. And I rang the doorbell, and no answer. So I said, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And that's when he answered, "Go away. I'm shaving the hair on my chinny chin chin." I grabbed the doorknob when suddenly I felt a sneeze coming on. Now I huffed, and I snuffed, and I blew a great sneeze. Achoo! And you know what happened? You wouldn't believe it. The whole house fell down. And right in the middle was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, I was full, but I couldn't just leave him lying there, so I ate him up. Think of it as like a second helping. Now, my cold was starting to feel better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar, so I went to the next house. This is where the third little pig lived, and he must have been the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. Now, I knocked on the brick house, and no one answered, so I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here." Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a sack full of sugar. And he wouldn't even give me one little cup. That's when I started to feel a sneeze coming on. And I huffed and I snuffed and I blew a great sneeze. Achoo! And you know what he said? He yelled, "And your granny can sit on a pin too." Now I'm a pretty nice guy, but you shouldn't talk about my granny. I did go a little bit crazy, and that's when the cops showed up. And I was about to blow his door down, and I was huffing and I was puffing and sneezing and making a big scene. And the rest is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. And they figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't make a great story. So, of course, they came up with breaking down the doors and huffing and puffing and the whole blowing your house down thing. And they made up the whole big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you can lend me a cup of sugar. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my story.